Welcome back to Rock Stardust. My name is Robbie. Today we're looking at what has been immortalized as Ziggy Stardust. And I want to look into actually who the character is, Ziggy Stardust. We all know who David Bowie is. We know what a great album, the rise and fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders of Mars is. It's one of my personal favorite albums. It's absolutely incredible. But who is Iggy? Who is this character? Well, he's a fictitious character created by Bowie, right? And became the stage persona that took stage between 72 and 73, playing across the UK, Japan, and America. The track Ziggy Stardust really immortalizes the whole character. And obviously the title itself, but he was very much an androgynous intergalactic figure that came to Earth with a message of hope, because the Earth had like 5 years to go. It was running out of natural resources, so the concept goes. And he was really an over-the-top sexually liberated alien rock star, who very much was a social commentary on celebrity and worship of celebrity, and he became very much the subject matter of his own downfall due to his own fanfare and celebrity. So he effectively is larger than life, very very well portrayed, awe-inspiring and quite disturbing at the same time as, when you look deeply into the character. And hey guys, please don't forget to, subscribe, add your comments in the comment section. That'd be awesome. So Bowie really, was inspired by, Vince Taylor, who he met in the 1960s in France, who had success in the early 60s with Brand New Cadillac. And that was later, performed by The Clash on London Calling, which is awesome. So Vince Taylor, it's well documented, had a mental breakdown and saw himself as, a cross between an alien and a god. He also wore quite outrageous clothing. So that was one of the key characters that he built the character on, as well as the likes of Gene Vincent, Lou Reed, Iggy Pop, have also been referred to as influences, and the work on Clockwork Orange. So Ziggy was one of the few names that Bowie could think of starting with a Z. So that's what he said in an interview, and he got the name from a tailor shop called Ziggy's that he passed on while traveling in a train. And Stardust is from the legendary Stardust Cowboy, which was the stage name of a singer, Norma Carl Odom, who Bowie liked. Okay, so that's how you get that Ziggy Stardust. The look, the hair inspired by Japanese, designer Kanza Yamato, helped also design his outfits and his one-piece jumpsuits. Bowie kept his skin pale, that snow white tan, shaved off his eyebrows to look more alien. And Susie Ronson was involved too. That's how she got involved in the scene. He was actually at a hairdresser's with Angie Bowie, and she was the one that did the initial haircut and used that red hair dye. But then as a result of getting involved in that scene, she met Mick Ronson. So that's how that came about, to become his wife. So the gold astral sphere on his forehead was suggested by makeup artist Pierre LaRoche. And Bowie could spend up to 2 hours on makeup before shows. This is where the real hallmarks of glam rock came in, had a massive impact, with the likes of, T-Rex and Roxy Music. Bowie famously had an interview with the beat poet William S. Burroughs, where he talked about Ziggy was advised to him in a dream. This goes back to 1973. When that interview took place, by the Infinites to write the coming of a starman. So he writes Starman. The starman that he's talking about, they're called Infinites, and they are black hole jumpers. Well, They tear him to pieces during the song Rock and Roll Suicide, where Ziggy's character finally dies off on stage, and the Infinites take his elements and make themselves visible, according to Bowie. Bowie was very much inspired by Burroughs and his cut-up method of creative ideas, which was used in many songs, including Moon Age Daydream. And I've seen a clip off the Moon Age Daydream movie, which is awesome, where he's cutting up, pieces of paper, which is all words. So then you pull them out in a different order to give you that creative juice to go forward. So Bowie retired the Ziggy Stardust character on July the 3rd, 1973 at London's Hammersmith Odeon before 3,500 fans. Finishing off the show, but prior to doing Rock and Roll Suicide, he said, "This will be the last show we'll ever do," which was a shock to so many people. At that moment, he killed off the character. And he killed off the character more as a means to save himself. He himself admitted that the character was becoming so much overbearing in terms of him off stage, not just on stage, that it was starting to really mess him up. And so he was concerned about his sanity, and he had to kill that character off, and that's what happened, which was a shock to the band. But again, it goes back to this realization: it's not David Bowie, it's the Ziggy Stardust character. So it is a very interesting, kind of spooky thing, that he was so immersed into that character that he had to sort of shelve it. All right, otherwise it was going to be very dangerous for him. And just watching that Moon Age Daydream movie and other clips where he's having the makeup applied, it really is. It's the character that Bowie was at that time, and in going to other albums, we took these roles so intensely. It's inspiring, but also quite disturbing. So he was a very unique individual. So, the album cover, standing outside a fur maker store, K West, located in 23 Hedon Street, London, has now got a plaque honouring Ziggy Stardust. That was done on March 2012. And there's also a plaque outside the Public House in London, the pub there, where the idea was conceived for the album. Was called the 3 Tons, now called the Rat and Patriot, in Beckenham High Street. And, the album itself is so amazing. That's the cover there. There's been a lot of talk about the cover, yeah? And that whole K West sign, what does that mean? And actually a lot of people believe that means quest. A lot of clues there. So that's the cover there. Bowie's by himself. The rest of the band, the Spiders from Mars, it was raining and they didn't want to go out in the rain. So they missed out on a great opportunity to get a photo there on one of the greatest albums of all time. And one of the great covers. But, it works as it is, with the great man there himself. And then the photo on the back there. The band were a brilliant band. And the music is absolutely incredible. I think Mick Rodson's part in the whole project and that period of playing with Bowie was can't be underestimated. What a brilliant guitar player, arranger, and even his singing, his backing vocals are great. He contributed so much to the band, and he played the piano as well. So yeah, I'm a huge fan of Mick Ronson. So if you look at the whole concept of the album, 5 years starts off. That's the beginning of where Ziggy Stardust comes to Earth, begins his quest, going into Soul Love, Moon Age Daydream, which is just mind-blowing, Starman, which really fits the bill, It Ain't Easy, Lady Stardust, which is about Mark Bolan, but I absolutely adore that song, Star, playing that part again, Hang On To Yourself, Ziggy Stardust itself, tells the whole story really of summarising the character, Suffragette City, and then into Rock and Roll Suicide to finish the album off, which is the whole end of the concept. Do you know what I mean? So it's absolutely brilliant. Absolutely stunning record, absolutely stunning concept. I hope you enjoyed watching this take on the Ziggy Stardust character. It certainly is interesting. And if you do enjoy this kind of material, please do hit the subscribe button. Leave your comments there in the comment section. There's so much more to explore here, and we can take a deeper dive in the future into those tracks themselves. So thanks again. We'll see you next time. Cheers.